All right. Well, now time for news with Dawson. Although I want to say something quickly, Dawson.
Please.
I don't know how you feel about this, but I was watching the Denver game over the weekend with the Bills, and it came to OT, and Buffalo threw a long pass down the field, and the receiver caught it, and they would have, because Denver had the ball first and didn't score in OT, then Buffalo, I believe. I was just watching from the back of the club. It was a little hard. But anyway, they would have just kicked a field goal and won.
Right.
But the Denver player made a great play and took the ball away. But I don't know what the rules are, because you catch the ball and then you go down and you hit the ground with the defensive player on top of you, and then the defensive player rips it out, except for you're down because you caught the ball and you're on the ground.
Right.
So you touch the ground. So you're down, and then in one sort of flowing cyclical motion, he pulls it out, which is a beautiful play, except for the guy caught the ball and he's down. So I don't know. It's super close. You can watch it here. He goes up. He got Denver's ball. I mean, he pulled it away, and it was an amazing play. And the ball was a little underthrown, and he threw it another yard further. Probably no problem. But I'm not sure what the rules are, because you catch the ball, and then there's a lot of weird rules, like he caught the ball, he put his feet down, he made one move, but he didn't make a second move, so there wasn't a football move. And I'm like, he caught the ball. That is a football move. That's the ultimate football move.
Yeah.
His name is DeQuarius, which was the first football move, and now he caught the ball. That's the second football move. What are we doing here? The guy caught the ball. He went to the ground, and then in one motion, the ball was pulled out. But it's like in a game where they do the fractions of his knee touch before the ball came out, whatever. He had the ball, and his back was on the ground. So reception, play over. But they didn't do it that way. And then Denver got the ball, and they won the game. So anyway, I wanted to point that out to you.
I wanted Buffalo to win that game.
I did too.
I was pretty disappointed in that. But
weird play. Yes.
Maybe he just didn't have possession of the ball for long enough. It did look like it was pretty effing quick.
He caught it. He had it. Here's the biggest. Now, look, this is my Rich Eisen thing and why he loves me. This is the replay gimp. Mm-hmm. Not enough to overturn the call made on the field. I'm like, I don't need the call made on the field factored in. I just want to look at the tape. So what they'll do is they'll go, on the field, they called it an interception. When you look at the tape, maybe not, but not enough to overturn. But what do we, it's like saying we're having a trial. Right. Okay. We're going in with the auspices of this guy's guilty. We saw through the trial that maybe he wasn't, but it wasn't enough to overturn the original, what we went into the juror's room with. And it's like, well, don't go in with anything, is what I'm saying. Just fucking make a decision. Don't go not enough to overturn the mistake we made.
And it also seems that in a lot of these cases, one day it'll go one way.
Yes.
And then almost the exact same thing the next day is going to go the complete opposite way.
That absolutely cost Buffalo the game, because they have the ball in the 20, they just kick a field goal, and then they'd go back to Rich Stadium. All right, so what do you got with the news?
Well, more scamming going on, this time in Brooklyn. Two scammers have pled guilty to $68 million in fraud for Brooklyn social adult daycares. Between 2017 and 2024, these people would recruit people to sign up for their adult daycare. They would never show up.
Sure.
And then they would give them a little bit of money and then scam. So,
you know what I would do if I was Doge and Big Balls and Elon? I would just go, listen, here's what we're going to do. We are going to look at the titles of everything. the more euphemistic the title of a business, the more I'm coming after them. If I hear people, first steps forward, children fed, feeding the world, those are the first. The ones are called Smuckers, child care. We'll put them at the bottom. If it's called Acme or Ajax, they're at the bottom. But it's first steps forward, feeding the children. Boom. You're right at the fucking top with your bullshit titles because it's all the kids. It's all about the adults. It's all about the special and trees and nature. I mean, that's what they do. That's what they do with all the fucking... the climate bullshit. It's always about saving our future, feeding our future, green feed future roots, and then it's just fucking give us fucking money, we'll just buy ourselves a Lamborghini.
Well, these places were called Happy Family Social Adult Daycare Center.
Perfect, right to the top of the list.
Family Social Adult Daycare Center and Responsible Care Staffing.
Right. So if they called a daycare center like a learning center called You Get What You Get Learning Center, I'd go put them at the bottom. They're not scamming anybody. But if it's happy feelings, good puppy loving, big puppy doggy learning thingy.
There you go.
The boom, right at the fucking top because they're fucking bullshit artists.
Well, as part of their plea agreement, they have to pay back $1 million. They stole $68 million, but they got to give back $1 and they're facing 10 years in prison, and they'll be sentenced in May.
Here's my new world order. Human beings cannot be trusted. They just can't. Like, all right, we raise $10 billion to feed the African hungry children, right? Then we send the $10 billion over there, and nothing gets to the kids. It's nothing. Nothing ever works. There is no money. Everybody is totally corruptible. There's no such thing. And I'm not even saying they're bad. And first off, we just thought this was the domain of like the red-haired white sheriff from Billy Jack. It turns out women are fucking worse than guys. Black women are worse than white women. Like everybody's corruptible. Everybody's corruptible. There is no trust, no nothing. There's no such thing as me saying to anybody anymore, here's $10 million. You think of your friend from high school. Think of anyone you know. Here's $10 million. Just dole it out, whatever.
No.
How long before they kept 9 of it for themselves? It's human nature. It doesn't work. We can't do it anymore. There can be no more giving out of anything. There can be no more free money. You have to fucking earn money.
Yeah.
Free money's just right in the pockets of all the fucking people we hate.
Well, I'm waiting to see when they start looking into California because guaranteed there's fraud all over the place here, and it's about time.
Oh, my God. It just, and the funny thing is Chuck Schumer's up there. It's like, once we get the House back, we're going to reinstitute all the Doge.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chuck. That's just what we want. Get all the fucking America Cares First shit back so everyone can fucking get rich and nothing can ever change. But you know what's a weird thing? The weird thing is nobody does the math on it from the sense that, you know, like I've been to Dawson's house. More than once. There's things going on at Dawson's house. But there are also parts of Dawson's house that need a little TLC. And if I was just funneling lots of money to you and you're going, I'm doing home repair and I'm doing renovation, whatever, and I just kept showing up and nothing ever got done, I would notice.
Of course.
Like, I would go, where's all the fucking money going? I'm not seeing anything different. And they go, we're doing for the kids. We got to fund the unified school district so the children can get laptops and so they can get tablets. They need tablets so they can learn. The grades just keep falling off. It just keeps falling off. The homeless grow. The cities fall further apart. Oh, you need more. You need money for gas. Oh, well, we're going to add a little tax on the gas so we can fix the roads. I just fucking blew out a tire in a pothole. Where is the fucking money? Where? Okay, you're going to help the kids. Okay, you're going to help the kids. We have kids, they're all in poverty, and none of them learn anything. Okay, well, what else? We're going to do the roads. We're going to do a little extra gas. Yeah, it's $5 a gallon here, but we get the road. Yeah, but the roads are shit. Okay, well, What about the homelessness? Well, just give some money and we'll get the... Yep, I just ran over homeless. We should take the homeless people and put them in the fucking potholes. That would solve our problem. That would solve two problems. But you guys just keep saying more money. Then you're making a budget and you're like, listen, we would need to allocate more money so that kids can get a first step, so they can get a head start on the first... You guys didn't do anything before. So we should know there's no results. There's no result. Where are the results?
Well, it seems like we know that.
Of course you're stealing money. Nothing comes out the other end.
It seems like we know that, but all these new taxes just keep getting approved to pay for things like firefighters. Like, what happened to all the money we've already allocated for all this stuff? And yeah, it's just they keep throwing more money at these things, and the problems aren't going to solve.
I agree. But the whole point is money, which I've been screaming about for a million years, where they go, we need more money for education because these kids are underserved and they're falling further behind. I have screamed 100 million times. Why does it cost money for education? Abe Lincoln just sat by a candle and read a book. Is it money? Should we pay you? Like, where's I know. And they do all this shit.
Well, the money has exponentially been increased, and the education has exponentially gone down.
Look, if a kid wants to know something, let's just say you had a kid that was curious, and he wanted to know about rocketry, or he wanted to know about the transgender movement, or whatever the fuck the kid wanted. Would he need cash, or could he just go get that information? He could go do it. I mean, when a kid is motivated, like when a kid wants to draw, or a kid wants to do comedy, or a kid wants music or to sing, like that kid will just go do it. This weird thing of like, well, we need money. Who needs money? You need fucking parents that focus on education, right? But you don't need more money. Ugh. All right, anyway, go ahead.
All right, moving on. You did mention Chuck Schumer saying that when the Democrats win the House back, they're going to put all the Doge cuts back in. James Carville is predicting a GOP wipeout in the 2026 midterms. Now, he's responding to an op-ed in the New York Times from a former senior advisor to President Obama. He said that the Democrats have no credible path to sustained control of the Senate and the White House. Mm-hmm. He said, your viewers need to know that the Democrats are going to pick up, at a minimum, 25 seats, maybe as high as 45. In all likelihood, the Democrats will carry the Senate. Do you think that's possible? I guess anything's possible, especially without voter ID and mail-in ballots being sent to every single person in the world.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I was thinking of you. I was on the flight coming in today, and I was listening to Alyssa Milano. I like to listen to.
Did she have a good cry with her daughter?
She lay down. She wept for her future.
Okay.
Oh, no. They talk about going on like 6-week hiatuses and vacations in Maui and stuff. Like it's all this creative elite lifestyle. But I was just sort of looking at it, and I know a lot of these people, and I live in Hollywood, and it's a lot of, look, I don't know if we can survive another 3 years with Trump, and then what if J.D. Vance got in for 4 years, and like, I don't know if we could survive. I don't know if our democracy will make it. I don't know if our country will make it. And I'm always like, and so I started to kind of look at it like, I said, okay, let's flip the script, and let's just say Joe Biden, and I don't really know. I can't point to stuff that Joe Biden did. I know he talked a lot about black and brown people needing a hand up and on all that kind of stuff, and disproportionately affecting women in the LGBT community and stuff like that. But I really don't know. I know he shoveled tons of money during COVID and fucked up the thing, but I'm trying to think. But I started like writing it down, and I was like, okay, Alyssa Milano and all the people who don't know if we could survive. Mark Ruffalo. Like, can we make it?
Right.
And I started, like I said, sitting around. It's like, all right, what if I was sitting around and Joe Biden dropped a couple of bunker busters on Iran and undid their nuclear program? Like, just did what Trump did. Just flew a sortie, dropped a Moab, took out their facilities, and they can no longer have a nuclear weapon. Right. I'd be like, all right, well, that's Oh, good for you, Joe. I mean, I'm not a Joe Biden fan, but all right, that's a good thing. And what if he just said Joe Biden just completely closed the border? There was, 10,000 people a month or week or day coming across, and now there's 0. I'd like to sit back as a Joe Biden detractor, and I'd go,
well, at least he did something.
Well, I live in California. All right, good. I got friends in San Diego. All right. He closed the border. Like, okay. And then when he went, Joe Biden also said, number one, I'm going to lower gas prices. I'm lowering gas. Like, what if he talked about something that we knew about or cared about other than the LGBT, where the invisible shit they love, right? Mm-hmm. Getting a seat at the table. I would then go, okay, I like lower gas prices. You know what I mean? And at some point, ending wars and like little things like Trump did a thing where he went, look, if you're terminally ill, you can take experimental drugs because you're going to die in 2 months. What do I fucking care if you take experimental drugs? We don't need an FDA clearance. We don't need trials. You're dying.
You are the trial.
You are the trial.
Right.
Try it out. So, like, things like that, or got rid of Maduro, or something like that. If Biden had done all that, I'd go, well, okay.
Right.
So where's we're not going to make it another 2 years or 3 years? Like, how does that fucking work? Is there any acceptance of anything that happens? Yes, the border's closed. Gas is cheap. Mm-hmm. There's no more nuclear in Iran. Is that okay? A bunch of wars were stopped. Is that what is this apocalyptic thing that you keep talking about? He's just talking about the economy. The economy's better. Inflation's better. Trades, tariffs, like whatever it is. What is this? Interest rates down for homeowners loans? Like what is this thing you keep discussing? And it's all emotional, and you're all bitches. That's all this. You're pussy hurt bitches who cannot fucking stop speaking emotionally. It's all emotional. There's nothing practical in this. And then when you do get the practical part, that's when you start making shit up. He's going door to door, kicking open doors, grabbing people look different than him, and throwing them in gulags. Okay, you're making
families.
Okay, the bad
American
stuff is
citizens.
all the shit you make up. Mm-hmm. The good stuff you will not recognize at all. Yes, I could do this. I could envision a world where 3 years from now, gas went from $2.50 a gallon to $1.89. I could live with that, and the border was still closed. I'd live with that. Mm-hmm. I could do that. Okay.
I think the one thing Joe Biden did do, I tried to think of it, he did do that CHIPS Act.
Okay.
Which apparently means that we're building microprocessors here.
Right. And so when I hear about stuff like that.
But that's it. That's one thing.
Okay. When I hear about stuff like that, I go, good. Let's do the chips here. Yeah. That's good.
I don't know. It's funny, too, because anytime they lose an election, democracy's at risk. We're going to lose our democracy because we lost an election.
I know. It's at risk. It's hanging by a thread.
Oh, well, let's get angrier because this one's
Wait,
fun.
There is that clip. Do we have the clip? I saw it up there, then it went away. Well, now I think we have it now.
Okay.
We have Carville's clip.
I just like listening to him talk, but this pretty much seems insane. I don't know where he's going to get this.
He's a fucking blowhard.
He seems that way.
He doesn't let you talk. He's just a fucking idiot.
Path of Democrats.
Well, David is a high-tech, big-brain guy who's looking into 2030, what happens in the 2030 census, and that's good. I'm looking at the 2026 elections, and frankly, it's going to be a wipeout. Your viewers need to know that the Democrats are going to pick up at a minimum 25 seats, maybe as high as 45. Wow. In all likelihood, the Democrats will carry the Senate. So, and I think we're shaping up very well for the 2028 election, but I don't know, 2030 is, I'm 81, that might be on the other side of my horizon, to be frank with you.
Yeah, so 25 to 45 seats, that's a bold prediction, and you are crushing my prediction on the 5, which was that Jessica Tarlow would have an unhappy night and Republicans would overperform, which I still believe. The trend lines are very good, James. When you look at inflation coming down, when you look at GDP, you think an economic revival that I think will come cannot demolish the trend you're seeing?
Well, I guess anything is possible. Why is Trump trying to call the election off? The first question every Republican candidate will have to answer, will you agree to have an election in November 2026 because Trump has said he doesn't think we even need one, hinting the fact that he's going to try to call them off. So we can agree. We might disagree on who's going to win, but I think you and I can agree we got to have the election, right? That's the important thing, is to have it.
No doubt. Trump agrees with that proposition. Trump talks in jest, as one person said, take him seriously, not literally. I think he might have said that just to trigger you, James.
Well, maybe so, but it would be a good idea if he'd clean it up, and it'd be a good idea if every Republican candidate who ran for every office would be asked, are you committed to have an election in November 2026?
That's
because, you know, the President of the United States says
he's an idiot. But here's the thing. It's a weird time we're in where we willingly misinterpret what
willingly misinterpret.
It's a weird.
There's no nuance anymore.
I'm totally obsessed with the willingly misinterpreting things. But I do want to say this. I was making myself some notes on the plane. The marching in Minneapolis and ICE and all the resistance and all that kind of stuff. It's funny because the powers that be, the Tim Walz and Mayor Fry and all these fucking retards up there, and they're like, go out and resist, but do it peacefully, do it patriotically, and do it within your amendment, blah, 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 blah. But show up in force and let them hear your opinion and blah, 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 right? Okay. So there's a fundamental flaw. By the way, a fundamental flaw in everything they preach, like defund the police. Like, okay, can't work. No one's illegal. Okay, can't work. Everything can't work. We're going to revamp the justice system and blah, blah, blah. Okay, none of it can work. But I was thinking about, like, in terms of protests, you know what I mean? And there's like three kinds of marches and protests and things like that. The first one's easy. That's just the Gay Pride March. Or Christopher Columbus Day, or Jews for Jesus, or whatever. That's just a march of people. And all that is the Lakers won the championship. We're going out. Okay, that's fine. And that you'll get a couple of drunken people throwing a couple of beer cans, but I mean, we're there to celebrate the St. Patrick's Day or the Jews for Jesus or the gay pride, whatever. That'll always work, right? And then there's the second kind of protest. And the second kind of protest is we're going pro-life and the abortion advocates on the other side of the street, right? And that will work except for they hate each other because there's two of them now. It's not all Jews for Jesus and pro-Lakers. It's abortion and anti-abortion people, right. The pro-life. All right. So then the cops will stand in between those two, and they'll keep it, civil, hopefully, because the cops are in between those guys and those guys, right? The fundamental problem with ICE and all the other shit that's going on in all the blue cities, it's not them and them and them and them. It's the cops and the people. The people aren't there to protest ICE. They're there to attack ICE, right, and impede ICE. So you go, what happened? Why is it not peaceful? Well, if it was peaceful, then you fucksticks would just show up and stand there, and then ICE would go about their business. Right. And that's not going to work because you assholes need to impede them. You need to get in their way. So you can go out there with the notion, I'm just going to have my voice heard, but you might as well just yell into a fucking toilet bowl. ICE is going to go about their business. At a certain point, you have to chuck a rock at the ICE van, right, and you have to fucking pop the tires of the ICE van because you're not impeding ICE. When it comes to celebrating the Lakers, you can just go celebrate the Lakers, and when it comes to the abortion or pro-life, you can yell at each other. You're not going to solve anything there. But when you're out protesting ICE, you need to stop ICE, and ICE is there. So then it's going to get physical.
Correct.
All right. And that's where we're living, everyone. So when the asshole Tim Walz and guys like that go out and have your voices heard, you can go out and yell all you want, but eventually you and your lesbian partner have to get the minivan and block the ICE rig.
Right.
And then you get shot. And here we are.
Here we are.
Okay.
And Walz is telling everybody, take out your cameras and film ICE doing their job so that we can catalog this and later we can punish these people for doing their job, that we can put them in jail.
You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about Tim Walz and all these guys. They're all the same guy. Just everyone think about this. Just think about this concept. Tim Walz, he, for 10 minutes, had to pretend to be like a dad dude from Minnesota.
Sure.
For 10 minutes, right? So he's like, what's he doing? Oh, hey, you caught me gapping the plugs in my international harvester. I wanted to get the plugs gapped so I could go out ice fishing later on today. You know, I like a hunting too. That's where I got this parka. I got a vest. I got a down vest, and I'm just sweating. Okay. Now he looks like a fucking angry lesbian, right? But remember 10 minutes ago, he was the chubby guy who was gapping the plugs and out going hunting, even though he didn't know how to load a shotgun. And now he's a fucking angry lesbian. Well, that's who he is. But they told him to fucking clean it up. And what's Kamala Harris? Oh, Kamala Harris. Oh, she's Miss. What about the climate and the rising sea? She just spent $8 million bucks and bought a house in Malibu on the ocean, which is rising, which I fucking yelled about a million times. Everybody who lives in Malibu, except for me, is all down with the climate bullshit. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio lived on the ocean. I know where he lived. He lived on the fucking beach. He lived 2 feet above the tide. That was his house. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they're all fucking full of shit, but here's the whole point. Tim Walz is this guy. He's not the aw shucks, gap the plugs in the international harvester and let's go ice fishing guy. He had to become that. Right. They told him, you're not palatable for the American public. They don't like the angry lesbian. So talk about gapping plugs and going hunting and ice fishing, okay? All right, Kamala Harris, pretend to be a human being. Joe Biden, go get some ice cream. Try to be a human being. Hey, Barack Obama, try not to be a race hustler for 10 seconds and have your bitch wife not tell us how much she hates this country every 5 seconds. Pretend to be Don King. Remember Don King? Yeah, pretend not to be a guy who stomped a guy to death in St. Louis. Get a little American flag and say only in America. Right. Do that. So we'll buy into your bullshit, right? Mm-hmm. That's not who they are. And that's my whole thing. It's like somebody saying, look, I need someone to house sit. I'm going to Europe. I got a gig. I'm going to Europe for a year. I need someone to house sit. And then one guy over here goes, well, you know, I'm a handyman and I'm a Christian and I'm a non-smoker. And my biggest vice is I probably go to bed a little too early and get up a little too early. And I'm not sober, but I've never drank before or whatever. You go, oh, that guy. And then there's this guy, the fucking party guy who likes doing rails and meth and fucking butt fucking his buddies in your master bedroom and stuff like that. And then you talk to him and you go, oh, no, that's the old me. Yeah. Oh, no, I've cleaned it up. No, I'm Christian now. No, I'm into that. What'd you call it? Home improvement? Yeah, that. Yeah, I do that. Okay, yeah, where are my tool belts or bags or things? I'm thinking about getting a truck. Yeah, okay. All right. Oh, well, I'm holding a Michelob Ultra, but I don't drink. But just this one time, I'm just having a beer. It's before noon. I know, it seems a little early. Whatever. And I know I got a face tattoo, but I'm getting that lasered off. Like, why should I believe you? And what are you trying to sell to me? Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, you're trying to sell to me that you're normal.
Right.
But you're not.
Right.
You're fucking live in Malibu, bitch, and you're fucking angry lesbian who hates ice, dude. And your fucking kids are fucking nuts too, and so's your wife. That's who you are. What happened to all the spark plug gapping? Where's the hunting? Where's the ice fishing?
Right.
Where's your down parka vest? What happened to that?
He doesn't need to lie to people anymore because it didn't work, and now he can just go back to being
who he is.
Exactly.
Who he is.
Exactly.
You want to know who Michelle Obama is? That's who she is. The bitch who hates this country. Obama, race hustler. Tim Walz, fucking angry. Kamala Harris, I like to live in Malibu. That's who they are.
By the way, how did Kamala...
Why is it confusing to people? And then Gavin Newsom is whatever the fuck you want on whatever day it is. It doesn't matter to him. He doesn't even know who he is. He's just whatever it is.
Yeah, oh my God, he's a psychopath. But how did Kamala Harris pay for an $8 million house in Malibu, and for a party who only seems to care about the optics of everything, isn't this the worst looking thing you could do?
The greatest thing, here's the great thing about the human condition. Kamala Harris is always talking about the haves and the have-nots. The Obamas always talk about at some point you got enough, and when's it going to be enough? I mean, Michelle Obama gets up there in the DNC and gives a speech about having enough, getting enough. She's on her fucking 9th house.
Right.
So the thing that's funny about these people is all Kamala Harris does is talk about haves and have-nots and paying your fair share and having enough and coming from a poor family and blah, 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 right? And then the second thing she won't shut up about is the environment, rising sea levels in the environment. So she goes out and spends $8 million on a home by the sea. So ultimately, the human condition is fuck y'all. The human condition is basically, it's like, the human condition is this. I'm going to go, listen, I'm the world's foremost nutrition expert in the United States. I'm going to talk to you about a vegan and a plant-based nutritional diet and a way to shed pounds. And at some point, you put a Reese's peanut butter cup next to me on the table. And I go, we're still rolling with the cameras? And they go, yeah, we're still rolling with the cameras. I go, plant-based, always plant-based. Nutrition, calories in, calories out, take in less, refined sugar, not good, processed food, not good. And I go, that was kind of one little bite of this thing. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the paleo diet. That's what I was talking about. So here's what you do. You do beef for breakfast and beef for lunch and then elk for dinner. Hold on, let me have another little bite of this thing. Like, we can't stop ourselves. Like, someone should have said to Kamala Harris, hey, bitch, all you talk about is the have-nots, and all you talk about is the environment. You, of all people, buying an $8 million house on the edge of the sea, and she went, fuck y'all.
That's
fuck
what you did.
You.
Exactly.
Because I don't care. And by the way, I don't care that you don't care, that I don't care, that nobody cares. You're fucking idiots. Stooges, you're going to vote for me, so fuck yourself. And that's what you did. Now, I will say one thing. In her behalf, in her response, or I will say this for them, and it is funny because I'm from here and I live in Malibu, and I had a house on Point Doom where her place is out on Point Doom. When they go $8 million mansion, it's not a mansion. Right. And when they go on the sea, it's not. No. Courtney Cox has a mansion on the edge. That's $37 million. $8 million
doesn't get you a lot.
It doesn't get you on the sea. It gets you inboard.
Right.
It's a peninsula. I mean, I could figure out my old house that was on there. The old house I bought, 20 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever there, that thing's probably $8 million. Like, that's it. It does not get you a mansion. But to Mr. and Mrs. America, it's $8 million and it's on the sea, and you don't give a fuck about optics because you want to live in Malibu,
right?
And it's all made up anyway, and you're not scared of the rising tide anyway, and you're fucking dealing with dumb lemmings, so fuck y'all. Thank you.
There you go.
All right. I've heard enough. You got another one?
Yeah, let's just watch this video really quick. I want to get your reaction. I believe we talked about it last week, but there's the Supreme Court is hearing cases that could affect transgender athletes.
Oh man.
And so they pulled out all the big guns and they made this commercial to convince us that biological males should compete against biological females and why it's important.
When you're young, you believe that you can do anything.
And then the world tries to set limits for you.
Tell you what's allowed,
What's normal?
who you're supposed to be.
On the field, the track, the court. Here, you get to be exactly who you
Megan
are.
Rapinoe's
Because
such a
at our
bitch.
core, we're
She
still
is.
the kids who just want to play.
The go big game changers.
The living, breathing fabric
All right,
of
hold
this
on,
country.
pause it for a second. First things first, you can go play anywhere you want, anytime, at any YMCA, any park. Anybody, listen, I stopped playing. I played organized sports from age 7 to age 18, probably like 17 and change or whatever, played half a year at junior college or whatever. That was it. When I was done with organized sports, I was young and I was like strong and I was still hungry and like active. And every single weekend, I was at the high school playing pickup football games. We were playing pickup basketball games. We knew a guy who had the key to the gym at North Hollywood High, and we'd play pickup hoops at night. We'd play pickup hoops at Walter Reed Elementary. Like, there was pickup everywhere all the time. So this like notion of like, I just want to compete, I just want to play. You fucking get in serious competitive park ball, league ball, YMCA, whatever ball. You can fucking go do whatever you want. Hey, bitch, go to the park every single weekend. There is a super competitive pickup basketball hoop game, if that's what you want to do.
Right.
Or soccer, or football. We did everything all the time. So it's not like you can't get out and get some anymore. I was like sparring in the gym and going to the games and stuff. I was doing everything. So you can do it. This is all they do. They cause a problem, and then they want to know why we're talking about it, and then they want to know why we're obsessed with it.
Yes.
Because they started. It's the exact same thing as the retards in Minneapolis going, we want to turn the temperature down, but the way to turn the temperature down is for ICE to go home. No, that's not the way to turn the temperature down.
No.
Yeah, okay. The way to avoid speeding tickets is to never hand out another speeding ticket, but that's not really going to work. You want to turn the temperature down, tell your fucking asshole lesbian friends to stop running out in the street and fighting with ICE people. All right, I'm sorry. We'll keep it going here. I know, this is good. I don't even know who these people are. But.
Most of them I don't know.
Okay.
But I do love how that Ellen Page person said, they're trying to tell us what we can't do.
I know.
Those are rules. Every sport has rules. There are things you can't do.
Listen, every Pop Warner football game I ever played in, from 7 to 4 to play 7 years, they weighed you in before the game. You had to step on a scale.
Makes sense.
Because they couldn't have 200-pound kids playing with 100-pound kids. So you stepped on a scale. Then they said, do you have thigh pads? They checked thigh pads, mouthpiece, knee pads, cups, girdles, butt pad. No, I'm doing my own thing, man. It wasn't any of that. It was, here's the fucking rules.
Here are the rules.
Here are the rules. Here we go.
Yeah.
Supporting trans youth isn't just about sports.
It's about freedom.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on. They always broaden it out.
Yeah.
Supporting trans youth. That's, you can support all the trans youth you want. I don't want dudes beating up on chicks on the volleyball court.
What about supporting the girls that they're trying to inspire?
They never do that. They never do that.
No.
Supporting trans youth isn't just about sports.
It's about freedom.
On and off the field. It's more than a game.
Yeah. And that, did you see that logo, that More Than a Game logo they got on it? That hurts my eyes.
Yeah.
Who signed off on that thing?
I don't know. It's all bullshit. Put it in the time capsule so future generations can study what retards we all were. And that's it. And also we listen to these people. And I've said it. I remember there's only one answer. I was interviewed by Tucker Carlson years ago in the other shop. I told you guys a million times. He said to me, what is the answer to this? And the answer is fuck off. It's never like, oh, look, we like sports. I have a daughter. I have a son. Shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking nuts. Fuck yourself.
Right.
That's where we're at. That's all Trump does. They're going insane, but that's the new world order.
They should not
These people are fucking nuts.
Or encourage.
We don't listen to anything you have to say. You're fucking batshit crazy.
Exactly.
Go talk to your therapist. I know you hate your dad. Sorry.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
New York City coming up. Rodney's going to be over there in New York City. That'll be the 29th, doing a couple shows out there. Live pod and a stand-up. And then Chester, New York with Megyn Kelly. She needs security, I just found out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, everyone needs security
nowadays.
Everyone on the right, that's for sure. And then D.C., the Kennedy Center, doing a couple shows there. Go to adamcarolla.com for all that. Until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Mike Dawson and Dana Gould saying... Mahalo.
Good show.
Yeah, get it on. Got the get on. Kapow. Kapow.
So I've got so much I want to talk about, and it's generally around issues of women and gender. And I swear to God, you have infected me with your ideas.
The problem, biggest problem facing this country.
All right, but I've got some things to say about it, and I swear to God, it will take 2 shows to do it. So if you have something to say, say it now. So, all right, here we go. So I want to start with something that is it's not a little off topic, but did you see Tish Hyman interacting with Scott Wiener at the town hall meeting? Because it's so good, and so I wanted to set this up. I just want to share this with the audience because Tish is my new hero, and I think she will be your hero too in a few moments. She is a gym member at Gold's Gym. She is a lesbian black female.
Oh, her.
Yeah. And she was harassed in a locker room, female locker room, by a guy with, as she describes it, a big dick. And he identifies that she was reticent and sort of dismissive, and they both lost their memberships at the gym. And Tish has been leading a campaign to try to protect XX women with a vagina. And I think she would say, it gets weird if people have had bottom surgery. I don't know what her position is on that, but she's saying primarily XX women deserve protection. And yes, trans people may get harassed, but women get harassed and women deserve protection. And you've completely undone any protections for women. So here she is talking to Scott.
Scott Wiener is who?
He is a state senator. I think he's running for federal senate.
Something. Yeah. I don't know. California,
sort of. He is. For 5 minutes, I thought, oh, this guy's gonna be good. He's gonna be okay, because he started talking sanely about homelessness, and then he proved himself to be amongst the worst.
They're all California. They're all crazy.
They're very much like the LA Board of Supervisors and the LA City Council. These are all people cut from the same cloth that live in some alternative universe where government is about talking and about ideas, but not about getting anything done. Is that about right?
I don't know how much more oxygen I can spend on explaining who these people are and why it doesn't work. And by the way, they hate Trump. They hate him. And, they do fascist and racist and they do all that, right? You listen to Trump on the radio and, when you watch TV, there's a visual component and it sometimes can distract. Sometimes you go, oh, that's a pretty girl, or where'd you get that necklace or something? But listen to the radio. Yeah. You listen to Trump do a presser. He's like, Saudi Arabia is giving us $6 billion. We're hoping to get to $1 trillion because they got a lot of energy. Need energy. Everything comes down. The price comes down on energy. You create jobs. When you come, we got Toyota over here. They're going to set up. We're going to use American workers. They're bringing in $1 billion with the tariffs. They create jobs. We drill. We get the energy. It's all fucking nuts and bolts. And you know what else?
Getting shit done.
No, yeah, but numbers.
Oh, yeah.
If you ever sit with a woman and you just start rattling off numbers, at some point they go, hey, stop it. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you cannot sit with your wife and go, look, we are paying 5.2. That's the points on our mortgage. That's our interest rate is 5.2, and our mortgage now is $17,200. We can get that thing down if we can refinance it and get it to 3.9. Our payments, they just go, what do you want for dinner? Yeah. Like I've never met that woman. Look, call me misogynist. There's a tune-out factor and an agitation factor. And so all Trump is this big blustery numbers machine who just keeps spitting stuff out. And all they do is go, we're better together. We're better together. You know what I mean? Which is the It's the opposite of numbers, right?
What did I see? Karen Bass. She had something. Oh, they had the LA Times wrote a pretty, I would say, damning article about how the fire department was required to stand down after the first fire broke out that ended up being the fire that broke out with the winds. And she goes, "Oh my God, this is absolutely right. We are going to put together a committee to talk about this." Like, what the fuck? Oh my God, that is such a perfect California response, though.
Yeah. Anyway, Scott's a San Francisco guy, Scott Wiener. Note the deep leg cross, Drew.
No, he has a new move.
A new move.
Watch it.
All right.
Shall
Well, let's listen.
Watch his legs.
Listen.
It hits after Tish talks.
Senator Wiener, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay.
That's the only.
As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected?
Oh, hold on. By the way, Drew.
Yeah. Socks.
Remember, I must expose my gay socks.
Yes.
It's basically, it's like a 70s cop drama where he flash your tin, but it's a gay tin. You know what I mean? Like, I come to the door and I go, "What's going on in there?" And then I hold my badge up. This is my gay badge. This is my pole smoking badge. I suck so much cock. Look at this. Check out the socks. You checking the socks out? Oh, you're a lesbian? Okay, let me show you. I'm gay. Look at my socks. Look at my socks. Look at the deep leg cross.
He does a phenomenal repetition. Almost like a dance.
He said does a pirouette. It's beautiful.
Repeated leg cross.
Beautiful.
I can't even do that.
No.
I do one and I'm good.
No.
So here we go.
Sorry, go ahead.
Tish.
By the way, you know who doesn't do the deep leg cross?
Trump. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Show's over. No. Yes. True.
I know where you're going.
I know you don't know where I'm going, but when I say that way to you, you know who doesn't? We've talked about 17,000 times.
You. I don't know where you're going.
I know, but you need. But so here's the thing, Drew, about you.
Yes. Not funny. I can't think about jokes.
I understand, but you understand. You understand.
Yes.
Presentation, inclination.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
First off, it cannot be Trump because you and I have done hours on Trump not sitting that way.
Yes.
So I can't go. Oh, and you know who doesn't? Because that's me. That's me giving you a Christmas gift as a train set.
Yes.
On December 25th.
Right.
And then January 1st, me going, "Guess who got what for Christmas?"
Yeah.
And you go, "Me? A train set?" Like, no, not that. I was there. I handed it to
Got
you.
it.
Okay, so it can't be that.
Okay.
And it can't be me.
Okay.
But it has to be someone you would think would cross that way, but doesn't. You see, by the way I'm saying it.
I'm there.
And you as a human being should understand. I'm not talking about myself. Drew, I'm okay.
Well,
it can't be me and it can't be Drew. Those are the two people on the planet it can't be.
Just to explain my thought process, it sounded a little bit like irony. Like, wasn't it? It's like, we've been talking about this.
All right.
Okay, but who is it? I don't know who the fuck you're talking
Pete Buttigieg.
about. Oh, interesting.
He doesn't do the deep cross.
Interesting.
You know why? He is gay. And he's not interested in signaling gay.
Oh.
Because he's trying to run the country.
Right. His brand
He wants
is great.
people in Indiana to vote for him and people in Iowa to vote for him. He wants the middle. The Manhattan vote, good. If you're gay, good.
Yeah.
But not when you're running for president. Gay, bad.
Interesting.
Gavin Newsom, not gay. We know he's not gay.
Yes.
So he can signal gay without being confused for gay. Buttigieg is gay, can't do that sit.
It's really ultimately the Newsom maneuver, but it's the inverse Newsom.
I don't know. Obama's, I mean, there's all those guys.
Yeah.
All the super soft guys are the deep leg crossers. But all right. So now Scott's doing a double leg cross
He
here.
keeps going.
Okay.
He has a whole fucking dance. Anyway, here
Anyway.
the woman has been harassed by a domestic violence perpetrator.
Right.
Who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir. Please tell me.
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women, and so if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up. And I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic, and I do respect a lot
as
of
a gay journalist.
But I do see a lot of these bills that you pass that are dangerous to women.
But I like that she did it. She did it almost like as a joke.
I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills, and I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help because you're in the office. You're going to go in the publicity spot. I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know: are you going to protect women, not trans women? Trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men.
Gets better.
I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic, and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian, and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
Men or women?
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm voting for her. Forget Scott Wiener. I want her. I want Tran. I want Tish.
I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women.
All women.
And that obviously that's incredibly important.
You can pause it here for a second. So they have a problem.
Yeah.
All women need to be protected, and everyone needs to be safe.
Yeah.
But trans women are women, so they're men in the women's locker room. Right. So now they paint themselves into a retarded corner, which is they go, trans women are women. Okay. Forget about women. Let's just say lawn gnomes.
Yeah.
Trans women are lawn gnomes, and all lawn gnomes need to be protected. So now you fucked yourself because you created this thing. You've painted yourself into this corner. So everything that comes out after it is going to sound like gobbledygook because it has to, because
it's not rational. It's not logical.
Listen,
it's not logical.
Well, no. Here's what you can do.
I think we do this. Just have a sign. Is that okay? Can I show them again? It's a sign. Can you see it? I think it's just no penis.
Well, you have to describe what's on the sign.
I've described the kind of C and B cock and balls you would see on a bathroom wall in every men's room in the world.
With a slash going through
with a no parking slash.
Very good, Drew. All right. That's funny stuff, Drew. I like that you hold it up. All right. So here's the thing. You can either go, look, I am going to let anyone who identifies as a woman into the woman's locker room, in which case you're going to get biological men in the woman's locker room,
right.
Or I'm not. But all women deserve to be safe is not going to solve either one of those.
Right.
So it's A or it's B.
Right.
But he does what all of them do, which is some sort of middle C ground, which is nothing.
Which is where the problem occurred.
Well, that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
So all right, we'll hear him babble on, I imagine.
Also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country.
Are they still?
No.
We have to protect women. We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But there's things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So what's
Wait.
And my name is Tish Hyman.
Where's
You
she?
heard me, sister? All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights as a reason to pass weird laws for children to transform. It's wrong. My sister's in jail. She can't get free tampons or soap, but she can get free transformation medication. Big Pharma at its best. Tired of it.
Yeah, Scott.
Yes,
Okay, there we go. There we go.
What's the plan?
We're going so smoothly.
They're going to
Well, let's talk about another uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're going to completely look it over.
When we first started talking in 2008, when Aaron Peskin challenged you for...
All right.
Yeah.
Well, what was his answer?
No answer.
Well, no. His answer was, I'm going to let this continue because trans women need to be protected.
Yeah.
I don't know, but why need to be protected by being in the locker room at Gold's in the women's locker room? But either way, no answer. And the reason you don't have an answer is because you don't have an answer. You get run up. They get run up with this shit like, it's basically Russian collusion, January 6th, climate change, whatever, the border. Just keep talking. They don't have an answer. But they don't have an answer because they're incorrect. I don't think enough people do that. Like I used to say quite a bit to my ex-wife. She'd go, "Why do you win every argument?" I'd go, "I don't argue unless I'm right." But if you're right, you do tend to win more arguments. It's true. You just have a higher batting average if you happen to be correct. And they're not.
It's not how she feels.
I get it. But what I'm saying is they aren't correct about things.
Yes.
And thus, they are going to lose the argument all the time because they're incorrect. You worry about women's rights, but you never say anything about what's going on in Africa with the Muslims attacking women. You know what I mean? But you worry about women's rights. So you're wrong.
Right.
So how do you square that? Like, how do you work around that? What are we doing? It always... I don't know why, but it always reminds me of one of my favorite scenes, which is in Fargo when the manager calls the Oldsmobile dealership where William Macy's like working, and he's taken a car and he's basically given it away or sold it under the table or something. And they're like, "We need the VIN number for that car." "Yeah, I got it right here. I'll fax it over." "No, don't fax it over." "Yeah, it must have smudged." Like, no, I need you to tell me the VIN number. And what the guy's doing is what happened to me when I was young and I was playing for the East Valley Trojans, and they give me a brick of 12 candy bars and tell me to go sell them for $1 a piece and then put the money back in a little envelope and return it to the clubhouse, so they could raise money for new equipment or whatever. And whenever we got to the end of the 2-week period, it was the same every year for me. It was 3 bars still in the box, $3 in the envelope, and 5 bars missing that I couldn't make up. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't work, And I just would sort of look at it and go, well, 1 bar could have fallen out and broken, but the reality is I ate the 5 bars and I don't have any money and my family is not going to give me any money, and I'm humiliated. I have to, because what they do is I go, return the box. If there are any unsold in the box, leave them in the box and then have the envelope. So, we give you 12 bars. There's 4 left at the bottom. So it'll be 4 bars and $8. It's $1 a bar. And it was $2 in the thing and 2 bars at the bottom. And it was always this thing of me like standing in line holding this box and them going.
What would they say to you?
Well, obviously all this shit is nothing, but to me it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was like $1, $2. You're coming up $3 short, for this fundraiser. You're actually costing them money.
Didn't they shame you?
It was like. First off, they saw me, they saw my dad, they probably saw my mom, they're probably like, okay, this fucking poor pretty fucking shit kid, he doesn't, I never saw the candy bar would sit in the box, down in the kitchen, and I'd just wake up at night going, I got it. It's singing its siren song, calling.
Adam.
There's nothing in the house but like a sack of wheat flour. You know what I mean? Like I was like a candy bar.
Mom allowed it in. Oh, God.
I don't think I told her. I just like showed up with this East Valley Trojans cardboard box, and yes, it was humiliating, but it was always this thing of like, I can't make this math work. I can't make it work. And that's them. That's them with all their bullshit ideas. None of it works. $24 billion into the homeless. What do you got? Well, that money's going toward education. So where is it? Where is it?
Right.
You have more homeless. What's going? It's a constant. By the way, you don't have to remove it from the screen. Andrew had the scene up there.
There it is. Should we hear it?
The screen's a weird thing. Some stuff will live there way longer than it should, and then other stuff gets put down and taken away.
I actually thought to myself, well, you've gone on long enough. You're probably signaling to me and Andrew you don't want to listen to it.
No,
I was afraid to say, let's listen to the video.
Being on the screen, not going to hurt me. Go ahead.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll say something, and then you'll be pissed at me just because it's sitting there.
Well, you don't have to say something.
Yes, I do.
You can wait for me.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hey, how are you this morning?
Real good. How you doing?
Pretty good, Mr. Lundegaard. You're damn hard to get on the phone.
It's pretty darn busy here, but that's the way we like it.
Well, that's for sure. Now, I just need on these these financing documents.
This is me with the candy bar, and then with the trans
yeah,
issue.
but I already got it's okay. The loans are in place. I already got the
$320,000. You got the money last month.
Yeah, so we're all set then.
Yeah, but the vehicles that you're borrowing on, I just can't read the serial numbers on your application. Maybe if you could just read them.
Yeah, but the deal's already done. I already got the money.
Yes, we have an audit here. I just have to know that these vehicles you're financing with this money, that they really exist.
Yeah, well, they exist, all right.
No, I'm sure they do. But I can't read the serial numbers here, so
this is Scott Wiener.
See,
he's actually looking.
I don't have them in front of me. Why don't I just fax you over a copy?
No, fax is no good. That's what I have, and I can't read the darn thing.
Okay, I'll have my girl send you a copy then.
Okay, because if I can't correlate this note with the specific vehicles, then I gotta call back that money.
Yeah, how much money was that?
$320,000. I gotta correlate that money with the cars it's being lent on.
Yeah, okay, no problem. I'll just fax that right over to you.
No, fax it.
I mean, send it over. I'll shoot it right over to you then.
Okay, fine.
Okay, real good then.
Right. That's every one of our fucking retarded California politicians. Like, it can't work.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you're doing with the schools and the funding and the border and the housing and the homeless, none of it works because it can't.
The horrible thing is that he is going to be held accountable, and he's got some real serious, shit to bear.
Yeah, Scott Wiener's not going to be held.
Politicians got nothing. Zero gravity.
Moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Quick break. Oh, Andrew, look for some Burt Reynolds for Dr. Drew.
Yes.
Look for some Burt Reynolds.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Take a quick break. Be right back after this.
Well, according to the National Institute of Health, around 30 million men in the United States experience erectile dysfunction. It's not 30 men, it's 30 million men, so you are not alone. It's so common. And it happens more than you might think, and no one wants to talk about it. The good news is HIMS makes it easy to deal with. Get access to personalized treatment options for ED. Options like Hard Mints and Sex RX plus Climax Control if prescribed. And you get an online visit, no doctor's office, no waiting room, no awkward weirdness, meeting the pharmacist or the physician. And of course, you do need to get physician's clearance because there could be an underlying medical problem. You need to rule that out. It's real medical providers, real prescriptions, and it's all built around you. And it's available online, and everyone should have access. Right, Daphne?
Start your free online visit today at hims.com/ADS. Find ED treatment that's up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/ADS. hims.com/ADS. Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
All right, so Drew,
yes,
there's a little more Burt Reynolds out there.
I'm so excited.
For
have you posted them yet, or can I post later? Or?
Yeah, some of them. Some of them. I see one of them posted. I don't know if all of them have posted. I'll just saying that so Andrew can hear it, so we can look into that.
Okay.
This
just
bill.
Tag me, please.
This I'll let you. Andrew, will look for those. This Bill Ackerman thing.
I saw a billboard out on the...
All right. Yep, that's us.
The Bill Ackman thing, yeah.
The Bill Ackman thing, I have no interest And
neither.
it's like, I don't know, go up, talk to a woman, introduce yourself, so what? I don't get the piling on part of our society.
It was the weirdest thing.
It's like, I don't know, go up and say hi, introduce yourself, or do it another way.
By the way,
I don't know what Ackerman did. I don't know.
He said in his tweet, "May I meet you?" or something like that. And apparently some dude went and used those words, and the girl kind of laughed at him, and that's where this thing caught some traction. But you don't know. He may have actually gone up and said, "Hey, I'd sure like to meet you." He may not have used those very words, "May I meet you?"
Right.
It's weird to say, "May I meet you?" I don't think he would have said that. And so that somehow becomes something he is being hung on. I'm screwed up. Yeah, I'm with you.
No interest in it. But I do have a subject I want to get into. But I'll play the latest. Bert, This is Gavin Newsom being voiced by Burt Reynolds. All actual verbiage coming from his mouth. And this is me trying to ask Gavin Newsom about the subject of traffic in Los Angeles and what we could do about it since it's so bad.
And you are the chick in this video.
I'm the chick in this video.
I saw a billboard out on the 405 said you're not stuck in traffic. You're thinking, how the hell? What does that mean? Says you are traffic, which I kind of like.
Recorded live at Carolla One Studios.
He kind of likes that.
Wow.
That's me going, what are we going to do about traffic? And you going, I'll tell you what I like. I saw a billboard. And it said traffic, traffic, traffic. And I like it.
But you know what?
I have no idea
what his point is.
Well,
Yeah.
Is... I want to stop traffic.
The reason I react to that, the reason it makes my skin crawl, because I've heard it many times, but what really troubles me about it, it suggests he's trying balloons like that all the time. Nonsensical bullshit that if they get a little traction, somebody likes it, I'm going to use that again. I think that's how he got to the check cashing thing. He probably was just sort of, that looked terrible for people. Yeah, talk about that. You know, he just throws balloons out all over the place that are mean nothing.
Well, that one kind of means that's almost the opposite of nothing, because nothing. So here's what this would be.
Yeah.
If somebody said, Adam, what are you going to do about traffic? And I went, I don't know. I don't have any ideas.
Yeah.
Then we're back where we were.
Yeah.
But this is like you going, I have cancer, so I spoke to my oncologist, and he said, you don't have cancer, you are cancer. And then he left the room. And I'd be like, I feel worse off. First off, I don't feel like I got a solution. I was going to him for a solution for this cancer.
Yes.
But he just said it was me, and then he chuckled. He said he liked it, and then he left. I mean, it is play it again, Andrew, just so people can hear how insane Gavin Newsom is when I asked him about what we're going to do about traffic.
Yeah.
I saw a billboard out on the 405 said you're not stuck in traffic. You're thinking, how the hell? What does that mean? Says you are traffic, which I kind of like.
That's a problem solver. But by the way, you could say, I propose legislation to do an odd and even day on your license plate in the diamond lane or something. Or I proposed X, Y, or Z. You didn't say any of that. I just went, you don't like traffic?
You are traffic. You are.
I kind of like that. Which I don't think people fully understand. He has no fucking idea what he's saying. Because a normal person wouldn't let those words escape their mouth.
No.
Because you would realize, A, I would think you were dope, and then B, this problem called traffic, we're no closer to solving it.
What's interesting about having Burt Reynolds do it is you could imagine Burt Reynolds playing some comedic character where he said something like that nonsensical.
I think there's another one, Andrew, you're going to have to ask Joey now, but I think there is another short one we have, but we have to figure out what all of them are, because now I've collected 3 or 4.
You did tell me another
How
one
many have you heard?
on.
2?
2. This makes 2. They heard the original.
Oh, this makes 2. You've heard 2.
I think so.
Oh, I think you may be missing a couple. We have to start keeping these
Come
things.
on.
I told you this is
you guys are bogarting on me.
Yeah, don't bogart.
Bogarting the Burt Reynolds.
Newsom. Yeah, don't bogart Burt. I told you guys Drew loves this the most, and I told him be ready because Drew loves it, but they don't care.
Ooh. Here we go.
All right, let's listen to this. What subject is this one?
Cleaning up the town.
Oh, this is another one. All right, this is when he gave that presser about cleaning up San Francisco when the chairman of China showed up.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
So what I try to, when people, it's funny because people say to me, they go, oh God, that guy's such an asshole, Newsom, or such a dope. I go, you don't get it. He's a sociopath. He says most politicians can talk around a problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
He doesn't know how to do that. He says, if you're worried about traffic, you are traffic. And if you're going to accuse me of cleaning up this shit box known as San Francisco just because a bunch of dignitaries arrived from China, well, I did because it's true.
It really
reminds me.
It reminds me of the Utah thing.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City. Same exact logic, non-logic.
I really mean someone needs to tap him on the shoulder and go, listen.
Yeah.
When people accuse you of fucking up California to the point where people are leaving and going to other states to start a new life, do not bring up examples of people who left and are living in Utah.
That's thriving and having a great time.
That's not what you do.
He one thing if you said he went to Utah and there they are, he went, no, and they're having a great time. He said they're really making a good career out of it.
You need to find an example of a guy who grew up in Orange County, moved out to Utah, and several years ago came back because he missed California.
He's not thinking. I don't think he thinks.
I know, but there's something uniquely wrong with it.
It seems like it.
Uniquely.
Yeah.
One more. I mean, just do Burt Reynolds again. That's.
I think you have the Utah one, don't you? I didn't see that one.
You've never heard the Utah one?
I didn't see it with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, you never saw the Utah one with Burt Reynolds?
So
I think you have.
Maybe I have.
All right, one more Burt Reynolds. Moving to Utah one. It never gets old.
It never gets old.
Not for.
But it's interesting how the emotion is more rich when you hear it. With
Burt's a thespian. All right, we're waiting for it. We should have them all in one place. That's my computer angle. I don't know how computers work, but I'd say put all the Burt Reynolds in one folder. Is that what we call it?
With the fancy language.
Yeah, folder. Put them all in one folder, and then eventually...
We'll misname it, though.
We'll misname it, mislabel everything.
What is it?
Yeah. It'll say Charlton
Former
Heston.
Governor Brown said it.
All right, well, you got to...
There we go.
Got to give us a little heads up here. Here we go.
Love this picture, too.
It's great.
I miss Burt.
Me too.
Former Governor Brown said it best. Where the hell are you going to go? And I love Texas. Don't get me wrong.
Is that the new California motto? Where the hell are you going to go?
I don't know, but he said it. But it was an interesting point because where are you going to get so many of the other things in the ballots?
You are aware that I've lived there for 2 decades, essentially. And this is the first time I've had people really talking about not being there. And not that they could figure it out somewhere else. I don't think that's true. I think they can figure out where they're going to go.
But it's not a zero-sum game.
Right.
Okay, I have a friend who just went to Utah. Beautiful. It may be the right thing for him. They made a ton of money. They have the ability to take their kids out of public school into private school, and they're doing that. I imagine they're not going to turn their back forever on California.
Well, I bet they. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
They be thriving in Utah.
They're doing great.
Like a kids in private school.
Took all that out of California. They have no sense of asset.
I know, but listen to the points he makes.
I know.
Whether it's the traffic or cleaning up San Francisco or people leaving California.
Yeah.
He makes the opposite point in all three things. That's the thing that's uniquely wrong with him, and people don't they go, oh, he's a double talker. He's a fast talking politician. No, Obama wouldn't do that.
No.
Obama would be full of shit and racist and everything, but he would never he would be nonsensical.
He would be logical always.
Yeah, and then not do it or whatever.
Right.
But he wouldn't say that.
None of this.
None of it.
Nobody would. I
can't think of a politician. Even the great Anthony Weiner with his festive socks.
Yeah.
All right, you can go to adamcarolla.com. I'll be tomorrow, Fort Worth, Hyenas, and Texas in Fort Worth, doing a couple shows there. Stand up, and then Woodlands, Texas, Do-si-do, the Big Barn, doing a couple shows there. You can go to adamcarolla.com. Walnut Creek, Texas, after that. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all live shows. What do you got, Drew?
Watch for our streaming show on X Tuesday and Thursday at 2, Wednesday at 4. Ask Dr. Drew.
So, till next time, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying, mahala. Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a jet bed. I'm going to get it on. Dr. Drew 457. Dig specialist. What's going on, man?
Oh, man, so much. Nice mention by Rogan about your construction background.
Yeah.
Which I thought was... It was the first time I'd heard that sort of acknowledged that way, you know what I mean? In the sense that people send around your videos about the pathetic response to the fire site and, you know, the lack of ability to get permits for construction and the Palisades. But he just said it very succinctly, like, he knows what he's talking about. He's dealt with this He comes from construction. He predicted it on day one. And that was that.
Yeah, people. Let's break this down. I'm having a seizure. Oh, I have thoughts. Because I brought that male-female article in that I sent you I was reading again and sort of underlining things. And here's what I've kind of
read an article.
9 pages printed out, bro. It's a lot of reading for this,
and with intention.
With intention. What I've sort of figured out is with me and a field of expertise, and I've been drilling down on this for quite some time because I think it's important, even though I'm not sure at the time why it's important. But I notice women and dumb dudes are real dismissive of expertise, you know, and it's a lot of like, I'll go sort of extreme examples, but like Maria Alonso Conchita Sanchez, who's a district select woman of San Diego, tells Elon Musk to get the fuck out. Yeah. That dope doesn't know what he's doing.
Right.
We don't need him.
Right.
What's he ever done? Okay, Dumbo. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's how they talk.
Yes.
All the time, and I've noticed dumb people do that. Women do it a lot, and dumb people do it. They go, they don't really recognize expertise.
Listen.
And by the way, it's intentional because they don't have to then listen to you.
Well, it's also narcissistic, right?
Yes.
Because I remember that a lot when I was in medical school and residency. I did a lot of hanging out in gyms and working out when I could. And guys would always come up to me and go, Dumbos. And come up and go, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm be an orthopedic surgeon.
Right.
I'm like, do you understand how hard it was for me to get here?
Right.
And they would say it with complete like, yeah, I'll turn my attention that way one of these days, and I'm going to do that. So part of the lack of understanding of expertise is an abject, it's Dunning-Kruger, an abject lack of understanding of what goes into expertise.
Right. Yeah, but it's also the groundwork for not listening to the person. There's an agenda that is attached to it that is there to sort of set the table of, Elon Musk, what's that guy know? They do a lot of like when I'll tell you the people that do it a lot. The people who answer their own questions, they go, Elon Musk, what's that guy know?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yes.
It's like, okay, he doesn't know anything.
Yes.
You're right.
Right.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You're so right. You fucking chick with 9 Latin surnames who's running San Diego into the ground. You have a much greater understanding of how to run companies or cities or build whatever. There are all these people. And so they're constantly trying to Well, I mean, there's sort of an extreme version of it, when they go, what's Donald Trump want? He wants cruelty.
Oh, yeah.
Cruelty to kids. Cruelty to those who look different than him. No, he's a builder who wants to fix shit. And he's in a hurry.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
And
but
then
they want you to acknowledge me and talk.
Right.
Talk to me.
Well, I'm reading this article, which I suggest you guys all read. It's by Helen Andrews, and it's in Compact magazine,
entitled
"The Great Feminization."
Yeah.
Now, actually, I was thinking about it, and Andrew, if you can find the beginning of the pilot of the Man Show. Which I think we must have written in like 98, because it was a pilot on ABC before it was a Comedy Central
and we'd
show.
been on Loveline a couple of years at that point when you went to air.
That is correct.
And we went to Loveline
but we didn't go to air.
No, but Loveline was like 97 really when we were in full swing. Right?
No, you just said when you went to air, but Man Show sat for a year before it went to air.
Yeah.
But we had to do the pilot, which we must have written in 97 or 98.
Yeah.
So now we're 25 plus. We're coming on to 30 years old. And in the opening scene on the Hoover Dam, we were talking about the great feminization wave that was coming over the city.
Little did you know that one of you would be completely subsumed by it.
Dragged out to sea, clinging to a tampon for life. To stay afloat. The Great Feminization is the name of this article from, 10 minutes ago.
Written by a woman.
Yeah. And the reason I try not to make a deal of that, because part of the problem we've gotten into in this society is, well, you're not black. I have black friends. This guy, this guy's a black guy. He likes Trump. It's like, fuck off. I can have opinions. These people all the time, it's like, how can you talk about the black community? How the fuck can I talk about any community?
Right.
I have opinions, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
What do you know about women? What do I know about women? What do I know about dogs?
Right.
You're not a black lab. Yeah, but I have thoughts. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I have thoughts about UPS drivers. I don't drive for UPS.
Yeah.
Do you understand how thoughts work?
Yes.
It's like, fuck off.
I've always hated
I have to be like a black woman to,
listen,
fuck off.
It started in medicine where people were like, if you're not a recovering person, how can you do addiction medicine? It's like, would you have to have cancer and each kind of cancer to be an oncologist? What are we talking about here?
I built people super expensive custom homes and lived in an apartment. Right. How are you able to build
right?
Because I know how to build a custom home, and then I go home to my shitty apartment.
Right.
That's how I do it.
Right.
I don't live in the custom home. Right. Okay. We have the beginning, and I haven't seen this in a million years, but it struck me as we were talking about it, as I was reading the feminization, that this is, 20, almost 30 years old in its inception.
But hang on a second. Don't air it yet. Because for some weird reason, this opening stayed with me like some sort of
monkeys farting.
Well, that stayed with me too.
I know. That's Drew's favorite bit.
No, but this thing of you guys, I remember you guys putting your hands. I haven't seen it in 20 years. You guys put your hand on the wall and lean into the thing, and it stayed with me. Some sort of like moment. Like I didn't fully get it. Obviously, I was a acolyte of the other side in this, and I'm part of the problem, of course.
Yes, you are.
Apologies.
Yes,
apologies. Wherever I can apologize, I will. But it's weird that it stayed with me so vividly because I knew it meant something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just didn't fully understand it.
All right, sorry.
Okay, here we go.
6.6 million tons of concrete, harnessing nearly 1 trillion gallons of water.
16,000 men spent half a decade building it. They lived in shacks and tents along its base without drinking water, toilets, or shelter from the desert heat.
More than 100 of these men gave their lives to this dam. Their bodies are paved over in its walls. Its 2 million kilowatt capacity powers the greatest city in the world, Las Vegas.
And just as these heroic men did more than 60 years ago, We are building a dam.
A dam to hold back the tidal wave of feminization that is flooding this country.
A dam to stop the river of estrogen that is drowning us in political correctness.
A dam to urinate off of when we're really drunk.
We call this dam the Man Show.
Now, when did the Man Show first air? That's the question. Because that is from the pilot.
Yeah.
And the pilot was shot for ABC.
Yes.
So it was June 1999.
Yeah.
So this would have been a year earlier,
Yes.
which would have been 98.
Yeah.
And then we would have conceived and written this before that.
Oh, you were talking
obviously.
about this shit. We were doing a love line for sure before that.
Yeah. So now we're there.
Yeah.
Okay. But somebody saw it coming.
But who?
The guy who everyone says, shut up, don't listen to him, or you're wrong.
Right. Without being critical of Jimmy, how would he look at this now? Would he feel I was wrong to have said that? Would he say things have changed? I've changed I'm sweat. How would he look at his position now versus then? I've matured. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he would say he's evolved or something.
Yeah.
I guess.
Would he say that was a false premise? It just didn't exist and it no longer, because that's what a lot of the pushback is now. It's just a talking point. Far right. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Well,
you were far right then, right? 25 years ago.
I highlighted
almost 30 years ago.
That's what I said 5 minutes ago. Female, this is according to this article, but this is kind of what we're dealing with. Female group dynamics favor consensus and cooperation.
Yeah.
Men order each other around, but women can only suggest and persuade.
Yes.
Any criticism or negative sentiment, if it absolutely must be expressed, needs to be buried in layers of compliments. That's what women do. The outcome of a discussion is less important than the fact that the discussion was held and everyone participated in it. The outcome of the discussion
doesn't matter.
Is less important than the fact that we had it. Remember, I told you all those times when I talked to my ex-wife, she'd be satiated. She'd go, I called the cable company.
Yeah.
And what happened? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
But we had the conversation.
Yeah.
And then I would tell you all the dumbos on the city council, all the Yenta cows would all get together and argue about homelessness and then go to lunch, and then that would be that.
Yeah.
And nothing would come out the other end. And then I showed you when Karen Bass was sitting there with Trump, and Trump was like, hurry, build, hurry, clean these lots and start building. She's like, whoa, slow down. And then I started calling it process.
Yes,
Process,
that's what
people.
It's
process. We have a majority feminine mindset in Los Angeles, and we sit and we talk.
You know what's interesting?
And nothing ever happens because it's a feminine thing.
Yeah. And female process addiction is about talking. Male process addiction, porn.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
Yes. So the article goes on. The most important sex difference in group dynamics is attitude to conflict. In short, men wage conflict openly while women covertly undermine and ostracize their enemies. Of
course.
Right. Okay. And get nothing done. And get nothing done.
And build coalitions done.
Right. And get nothing done. Yeah. Okay. So if you're going to live...
And by the way, that first sentence, if you'd read that to me in 1999, I would have said immediately, yeah, that's right. They're better. You see,
female group dynamics favor consensus and cooperation. Men order each other around.
I would have gone, okay, see, Adam, I told you.
Right.
That's what I got wrong.
It sounds good.
Apologies.
Right. But if you live in a city that has a feminine dynamic, then you shall get nothing done.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah. And by the way, you're not saying all women are feminized.
No.
Marine Le Pen.
Whoever wrote
Maloney,
this art, Helen Andrews is not feminized.
Maloney, Le Pen.
Oh, no, there's plenty of them. And then there's Gavin Newsom, who wears a cadre of bracelets and crosses his legs deeper with a deeper cross than Obama.
Somebody needs to do a study of feminization and leg crossing.
He's full chick. Well, but I mean, you have to. Justin Trudeau's a fucking bitch. I mean, he's just a chick. 100%. Now, that's how Obama's that way. That's how they present. Now, I'm sure Obama's a douche off whatever, I'm sure he's horrible, but he presents.
Yeah.
That's why he does the super steep leg cross and the sort of sits in a sort of posture and chooses his words. He's very feminine, but I'm sure
processy.
It's all process. Yeah. And I told Andrew to pull a short audio clip of Trump talking about building noises, by the way, which is, it makes me laugh because I've told everyone Trump's a builder.
Yeah.
And builders are in a hurry.
They're in a hurry and they got to get the right subs, you've taught me.
You got to get
which is an interesting new thing that I had not thought about.
You have to have all the right subs.
And
otherwise,
you got to fire them otherwise. Just gone. Next.
You can't work fast if you don't have the right subs.
Yeah.
But this is him. It's funny.
This again, I'm going to get a ballroom built, and we're putting up our own money with the government just paying for nothing. You probably hear the beautiful sound of construction to the back. You hear that sound? Oh, that's music to my ears. I love that sound. Other people don't like it. I love it, Josh. I think when I hear that sound, it reminds me of money. In this case, it reminds me of lack of money because I'm paying for it. So it's the opposite.
All right, here's the point.
But
my mom would be annoyed by the sound of building.
And she'd be outraged by that whole.
She didn't like that. He said money. He said building.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Yeah.
Now let's get him off the. Yeah. He couldn't hang with the LA City Council.
Hang on now. I'm just thinking. What was the? I'm not going to even ask you this question. I'm going to state it. Their ultimate complaint, ultimately, that what would be superior to the money and construction is too many people, right? That's always what they complained about. Your mom and her type. Overpopulation.
Okay. You got to say overpopulation. Too many people.
Sorry.
The room.
Too many people in the world. So
too many people.
So your mom would literally be relieved and supportive of the drop in the birth rate now that's going on.
They didn't like anything that involved progress. They liked everything was
for sure,
regressive.
But they also did not like people. Really get right down to it. They didn't like people. Too many people.
They felt that people hurt the planet.
Yeah.
And so if if people weren't people, they were just aphids and we lived in a garden, then they'd want less aphids because they love the garden.
Right.
And that's the way they looked at people.
That's right. Which is not a deep appreciation of the human experience.
I don't know that she had that for the human experience. All right, we'll take a quick break. Be right back after this. On the theme of me being right about everything all the time and forever, somebody...
Took a while, but...
listen. Here's how... You want to know how long it takes for me to be right?
30 years.
No, there's no time. There's no actual calendar set to it.
What are you asking exactly?
How long it takes for people...
Not time.
For me to be right.
So I'm going to struggle with this. Like for consensus to be built.
I'm setting up a joke. Just shut up.
Okay. Go ahead.
See,
I don't know when you're being serious. When
I know it's not 30 years, and it's not 10 years. It's the amount of time it takes for people to forget what I said initially.
Oh yeah.
And then we can go to it.
Yes.
Right. That's how it works. They have to initially forget what I was talking about the whole fucking time, and then we can embrace some new thing, which is new to them, but it's old to me because that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
The peanuts. We tweeted it out, Andrew, which is it turns out you got to expose very young infants to peanuts.
Yeah.
So they won't be allergic.
That's right.
Because everyone is allergic to peanuts, and then we took all the peanuts out of the house.
Think about this. Why very young? Why infant? Why?
Right.
Because the immune system is different in that age group.
Yes.
Therefore, unlimited vaccines is a good thing to an evolving immune system. Is that good? Bad? I don't know.
Look, these fucking safety, by the way, it's another feminine thing. This safety uber Alice bullshit is getting people killed.
Yes.
In 15 years we'll all be chicks. I wrote about this in my book. And now it turns out research true. Turns out the research.
Could have just asked Adam.
Turns out that the peanuts are important. Exposure, as Drew talks about. I remember going into a friend's house about 18 years ago. And I was just sitting in his kitchen. It was kind of a modest thing, and I knew he didn't have a bunch of good food for me to eat like at Drew's house. But I said, man, I'm hungry. I just want to get a scoop of peanut butter. And he said, yeah, no peanut butter. And I said, oh, man, you always keep some peanut butter. Get a nice scoop of peanut butter. And he goes, yeah, oh, no, we got it out of the house. I go, what was it out of the house? Oh, my daughter's allergic. I go, your daughter's 6 months old.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but I go, well, she's in a crib in the other room. Yeah, but the wife said, let's get out of the house.
Oh, my God.
I said, well, just put it up on I don't fucking word.
Yeah.
Put it up on the shelf. Just put it up in the cabinet up top where the glasses are. Yeah, I know, but she wanted it out. By the way, this is a problem because if that bitch is coming at me, I go, fuck off. I want my peanut butter. I'm not going to put it in her crib, but I think I'm responsible enough to own peanut butter. And by the way, they're allergic to peanut butter? Really? Is everyone allergic to peanut butter? But also, the peanut butter that's in the kitchen up on the upper shelf is not going to find its way into the infant's hands. So, no, I'm not going to go put the peanut butter in the garage, you crazy cow. But he just went and removed it from the house, which is the problem. That's the problem. Guys should have went fuck off. If you want to, listen, bitch, if you want to be nuts, do it on your dime. I'm not crazy. I can live in a house with peanut butter.
My appreciation for my father-in-law is going up so much these days. He spent 2 years in the hull of a ship in the Pacific during World War II, came out, became an engineer after the GI Bill, worked for Ford Aviation for a while, then got fired in the giant layoffs of the 70s, ended up buying hardware stores. And he took my wife at a very young age, like 4, and brought her into the garage all the time, taught her to fix things. Toilets, plumbing, carpentry, everything. Way better than I am.
Oh, yeah.
And, I cross my legs, man.
Yeah, so deep cross. Pioneer.
And the point is, I can't remember exactly what happened, but the other day we had something go wrong. I think it was a plumbing thing, and she just got on it, just like fixed it. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good.
You got to, I mean, you don't got to, but when you own a home with multiple bathrooms and things like that, it's nice to have somebody who knows their way around under that roof.
Yeah.
Agreed. Andrew, the article, by the way, that you took down, which is fine, but I did kind of want to see what the peanut article is, but I'll paraphrase. You got to expose kids. And when I say kids, I mean infants.
The CNN article.
Yeah.
Advice to feed babies peanuts early and often helps 60,000 kids avoid allergy, study finds. Okay. So how long did it take that one to come for us to forget about what you said?
We just had to wait till we forgot about what I was saying.
I'm saying, how long did that take this time?
I don't know. Andrew, maybe not for this show.
Well, you know what's weird? I'm just thinking, all this stuff is very familiar to me, that you've been saying it since the 90s. My question is, how long before that were you saying it?
I'm sure I always thought about it, and I was talking to guys on a construction site, so it didn't really, it wasn't chronicled.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't into a microphone.
I can bear witness.
And now it was chronicled.
Peanut allergy. 40 years, right? That you were.
I've always listen. Here's what I've always done, and Andrew, you can see if in 50 years we'll all be chicks. My first book, and I don't know if it's on the computer, and you can just write peanut or allergies or something like that. I think, but I must have written about it. I would sit around and hear stories. Now, the one you like the best. Actually, you don't like it the best, but I cite it the most, which is the high schoolers from the Catholic school went to Maui and annoyed dolphins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, man can't swim faster than 3 miles an hour, and the dolphins swim at 30 miles an hour. So I don't know how much annoying was going on.
Right.
be like guy in wheelchair annoys Usain Bolt. Like I don't think so. I think he could just get away from him if he wanted to. So I hear stories like I would sit around on the construction site going, how's everyone allergic to peanuts when I've never met anyone who was allergic to peanuts? And how come when I was in school, not that long ago, 15 years ago, nobody was allergic to peanuts, and now everyone's allergic to peanuts, and they have to have a peanut-free zone and a special bench for people who want to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and Southwest is going to, and I go, no, something's wrong. I don't buy it.
Same with autism, right?
Yeah, same with everything. I don't, none of the shit started. Human biology does not evolve or devolve everything. Yeah, you got to drink. Okay, you take your weight, then you translate that then into ounces, and then every hour you drink 200 ounces of water. Yeah, no. How come everyone was skinny when they didn't drink water? No one carried water. Everyone was skinny. How do you explain nobody carrying water and everyone being skinny, and now you must drink water in order to maintain your weight and lose weight, but everyone is fat? So I don't buy it.
And then football. Just like our experience with football in the 70s.
No water. So I would sit around and know what was happening all the time. And then stuff like COVID comes in and blah, 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 blah. And that's like, all right, I don't, we're going to mask up in between bites, stuff like that. Now, mask up in between bites is like an absurd extreme of what not to listen to.
Yes.
But the peanut thing and the autism thing and the transgender thing and the hydrate thing, that's pretty discernible too. It's not as patently insane as masking up in between bites, but it's one strata below in the what the fuck are these people talking about? I'm no longer listening.
Well, the safety uber alles thing is the sort of
big problem.
Yeah, that
people don't think is a big problem.
Well, you said it, so they have to catch up with you.
Drew.
Yeah.
In the safety uber alles thing. Now, because you think safety uber alles is about removing the peanuts from the Southwest flight on the off chance that somebody's going to have an allergic reaction.
No, I think
go ahead.
I just think about many, many, many other things, including a total denial of death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just...
There's a lot of put the helmet on, when most people think about safety, they think about airbags and crumple zones and stuff like that.
It's the opposite of, hey, let's go forth, let's explore.
Right. But there's an even deeper, broader safety uber alles thing that's not just about elbow pads and helmets when you're skateboarding and that, like a very focused kind of thing. When I've yelled at you about building and permitting and red tape and codes, right? And I'm looking at this place that they're starting to get to work on PCH, and I'm looking at what they're doing, and they're drilling these caissons into the ground that are 6 stories deep, and they're doing them all over the place. And I said to the guy, the foreman over there, I go, what do you got into the foundation? By the way, not before you can see any. There's nothing above the soil. Right. It's just a soil line. He goes, $2 million plus. Okay, so
for one house,
a small house. 2,000 square foot.
Yeah.
I said. So what I'm saying is it's safety. It's safety. Okay, but it doesn't need to be this safe. You do not need caissons going 6 stories into the ground. It's crazy visually to see the cages that get lowered in and go on forever. But you are now building something in the name of, we're an earthquake country, in the name of safety, you're building something that's 10,000 times as strong as it needed to be. And by the way, the former structure just had piles, telephone poles going into the ground, like the pier does. There's a quarter mile away. There's a pier that was built in 1905.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah.
There's no caissons.
No.
There's no cement. It's just piles.
And I thought the Coastal Commission wanted reclamation. I thought they wanted us to build stuff that the ocean could take back when it wants to.
So in the name of safety, uber alles, this homeowner's going to put $2.5 million into the ground before they can start building. And it is the structure of this is mind-numbing, and I don't know. You have to picture 6-story buildings in the ground, 30 of them.
Oh.
30 of these holes, 30 inches wide, cages. I took a couple of pictures. Andrew will pull a cage up for you whenever he returns.
Like rebar cages, kind of.
Yeah. Sorry, we won't. We'll find the peanut in the book, Andrew, who may have left. I don't know. I don't feel like leaving is a good. I don't feel like it's a good thing. Dawson does it sometimes.
Know. It could be an emergency.
It could be an emergency, but
no, I'm just trying to find the book.
I know, but if you check the clock, that's not going to happen right now. But it'll happen maybe next show. The book, I don't know. They used to be on.
That was a compliment, Andrew. Just so you know.
Yeah, they used to be on the computer, but I guess they're not on the computer. Someone has to physically get the book. I don't know. Anyway, Andrew, show Drew the picture of the rebar cage. That's what I'm saying, because it's mind-numbing when you realize what we're doing in the name of safety. And then
Cleopatra's obelisk.
Cleopatra's obelisk?
Like 6 stories high, and they couldn't get it to stand up.
What I'm saying to everyone is they go, you know my mom? Oh, no, forget my mom. You know what Jane Fonda would say? What's wrong? So what?
More. Need more.
We need more.
More.
Why not? What's wrong with being safe? And the answer is, I'll tell you what's wrong with it.
Oh, my God, look at that.
What are you looking at, Drew?
I'm looking at a mile of rebar, it looks like. It's just these tubes they're rebar, the metal where the concrete's going to be poured into it. But it looks like a quarter mile. It's crazy.
It is going off into there. That's 6 stories. It's getting lowered into every hole.
Crazy.
And then nothing will protrude past the ground. That crazy? Now, Jane Fonda would go, why not do 7 stories?
Yeah, she who has Ted Turner's money. She doesn't give a shit about...
Right, but so what I'm saying to her is, you could go 8 or 10 stories into the ground, but someone has to pay for that. Yeah. Why should the homeowner have to pay for this? I mean, a commercial airliner could hit it. It would withstand the force. It's just a house. The house was built in the 50s, and it had telephone poles going in the ground.
Made it nearly 100 years.
Right. Number one. Well, it would still be there except for the fire that you guys didn't manage took it out.
Exactly.
Right.
It wasn't the ocean. It wasn't the water.
Right. And, it's funny, what the city does run is the telephone poles and the electric wires, which are on telephone poles, which are 4 feet away.
Right.
Now that's good enough. Good enough to use the pole for them.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to sink piles, a pilasters.
Well, that's the general note. The general note is unlimited capacity to ask citizens for money. Or to demand the money, whether it's in the name of safety and their own investment or to the government.
Right.
And the worst at managing, let's face it, anything. Certainly capital. The worst at managing capital. I heard somebody talking today about complaining that Amazon wasn't paying taxes. Like, because they reinvest in the business. Would you rather that money go to the sinkhole that is government? And by the way, in the meantime, because they're growing so fast, they create $9 billion of taxes for the properties and the employees and they create billions of dollars.
I know. These are just simpleton dumbos. All right, Flappers, October 29th, everyone. Coming right up, everyone. And then Boston, that'll be the 6th of November at the Wilbur Theater, which is a great old theater over there. And then Buffalo, New York, Electric City, that'll be the 7th. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live dates. What do you got, Drew?
Dr.com, and look for on X at Dr. Drew. Look for the streaming show Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, Thursday at 2, Wednesday at 4.
So until next time, Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo. You're East Coast, right?
I am New York, yeah.
How's New York doing?
It's good. I mean, look, I live within walking distance of the Comedy Cellar, which is what I want to. It's why I'll never leave New York. So I want to be able to walk to the club, and I like it out in L.A. But I'm fatter than I should be by 25 or 30 pounds. And when I'm out here, I'm even a bigger pig than I am in New York. At least in New York, I exercise. In L.A., I'm a complete lump of shit. I don't do anything.
Yeah, it's kind of weird when you get off your rhythm, right?
You're off your rhythm and you're on vacation. Even though I'm out here doing podcasts, you still feel like, well, I'm not home, I'm in a hotel. And I was just talking about this. On the road, so much of my life was sex. and being dirty. And now that I'm married and I don't do that, I'm just fucking eating.
Yeah. Eating is funny because it'll be a catch-all for sex addiction or quitting smoking or quitting drinking or quitting gambling. Like, it's always just eating.
Yep.
It's like you may have been addicted to sex and that guy may have been addicted to blackjack and that guy may have been addicted to Jack and Cokes. But when it all goes away, the buffet's always there for all of them.
A ring ding covers all three of those
That's
things.
right.
A piece of cheesecake covers all of them. And it's like you're in a hotel. You know how it is. You're alone. It's like, it's fucking, what am I going to do? I'm going to goon on Pornhub, and then I want to act out. So I'm like, let me just order Uber Eats. I'll order some Jersey Mike's and shove that in my face.
So for you on the road, it'd always be some sort of sexual escapade, right?
Up until, about 2017 when I started dating my wife. Then it kind of mellowed out.
So you could go and just go online and find the local whatever.
Sure.
Like, I've traveled with guys that are the rub and tug guys.
Yeah.
And there's just a network. Like, they know where to go in every town.
Not my favorite scene. I mean, I've done it in my life, but I never loved the rub and tug. Just because to me, dirty communication turns me on a lot. Somebody whose like brain is locked in and they're being a pervert. Somebody when you just walk in, they're like, hey, what do you need? Like, that just doesn't do it for me. It's not dirty enough for me.
And it's not personal enough or dirty enough?
Both. And it's also, I didn't know if the girls wanted to be there. And I'm not turned on if she's just doing it because she has to. It's like, I would rather have it be because somebody's making a perverted decision to do it with me. So the rub and tug places were never my favorites.
So it was a lot of verbal communication with you back in the day.
Yeah, it's why I didn't love Brazil. I mean, there was some beautiful women there and great hookers, and it was fun. It was with my friends, but they don't. The one girl I latched onto in Brazil, who I kind of fell in love with for a week, I never fucked. I just hung out with her because she spoke English. And so like I kind of treated it like we were dating, which we certainly were not. But that I like the communication. That turns me on.
So it's really interesting. Like, I don't need the communication. I guess maybe we could do this. Let's try it. Let's see if we can figure this out. Porn with no sound. Does that work for you?
If it's a certain type of, very rarely, I have to watch it with no sound because I'm married now, so I've kind of gotten adjusted to that.
Sure.
But I think if it's something voyeuristic, yes. Like if it's somebody being sexual in public or at the bus stop, yes, because I can still get the dirty part of it. But just watching two people fuck with no sound, nah. That wouldn't do much for me.
What about back in the day when you would rent a porn? Would you have to scan the whole thing and then go back to a part you enjoyed? I've had this conversation with roommates in the past where I'd get it and they'd make fun of me for I'd go through the porn and I'd go, well, how do I know someone who I went to high school with isn't in the last 10 minutes of this porn? And that'd be the greatest day of my life, you know what I mean? And they'd go, you just watch it up to the point where you like what you're seeing and you're good, right? Do you have to scan through it?
No, I don't scan through it. And by the way, the high school one at the end of the movie, you're right. But then again, that just means you have to jerk more than once. I don't have a limit. But I would scan up until the point because for me, I couldn't go back. It wouldn't turn me on as much if I knew it was going to happen. It's the surprise of it unfolding that I like so much. Like, what's going to happen? Like, there was this, my first porn was called The Fur Trap with Kelly Bint and Jamie Gillis. And there's a lesbian scene in that. He's a fucking classic, Jamie Gillis.
That's the greatest.
And Kelly Mint is having this seduction lesbian scene with this woman. Should we? And I remember not knowing what was going to happen was part of the turn on. Once I've seen it, I can still whack to it. But it's like the first cigarette, where the first fucking line of Coke is always better than the second or third line. So I wanted to keep it like the first line of Coke.
Show me a picture of Jamie Gillis. Was he the guy who never opened his eyes?
He was a little bit heavy, he had a curly black hair.
Yes.
Paul Thomas you might be thinking of.
No. Those guys there was a whole sort of New York Jew artist kind of thing where it's like, that guy's not that good looking. He doesn't even have a big dick. And it's like, I'm a porn star. And it's like, I think they were like New York artists. porn stars or something.
But it stayed hard. Like Paul Thomas, Jamie Gillis. There was, I forget the Italian guy's name with the fucking balding. He was in Taboo American Style. There was Randy West.
Randy West.
Yeah.
We had a song about him.
It was the best.
Yeah.
But
that's him.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Is that Jamie? That's Jamie Gillis.
That's Jamie Gillis. And Jamie Gillis.
John Leslie.
Jamie Gillis was into, like, he was a little bit rough.
Yeah.
Like, you could see him, like, sort of pushing the girl's head down and going, like, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, a little scowl on his face. I don't know if Jamie Gillis is still alive, but I remember interviewing, like, I'm trying to think who I interviewed. Like one of the female porn stars of
Linda
of New York.
Lovelace.
No, it was
Honey Wilder.
It was after, and I'll think of her name in a second. But anyway, I was interviewing her. Oh, it was God. I'll think of her name in a second. And I said, Jamie Gillis, because she worked with back in the day. Oh, I was gonna say, what was that blonde's name? That porn star? Yeah, they're all blonde.
Jessie Jane.
Oh, God, I'll think of this and it'll make you angry.
Not Seika, okay.
That was after Seika.
Amber Lynn.
Yeah,
Ginger
it was
Lynn.
Ginger Lynn. It was Ginger Lynn. I was interviewing Ginger Lynn on Loveline, and I said, Jamie Gillis, like, he was always like, kind of had his eyes sort of half closed, and he was like, he wasn't beating women, he would just kind of like push their head, he'd be screwing them, like pushing their head down or something. And I said, he died. 66, 2010. So he goes, to Ginger Lynn, I go, was he kind of like a tough guy, or was he like rude, or, were you scared of him or something? And she goes, no, Jamie was a good guy. Jamie and I got along. We worked together quite a bit. No, well, I didn't have anything like that. And then she goes, oh, yeah, one time he tried dry on me, but she said it like somebody said he used the wrong fork for the salad. He used a big one, and
it was a faux pas.
It was a faux pas. Like, she was literally defending him, and then like reminiscing, going, Jamie, this is a good dude, and then drops the dry. Puts the word dry.
Yeah.
In there, meaning I think he just was improvising a little.
Sure,
while
he wanted to shove it in
while he was back there. But anyway, other than the dry, a perfect gentleman.
Sure, yeah.
Sir Rothschild.
He was a good egg. He had one mistake, dry attempt. But aside from that, he was a good egg, a fine man.
Jamie Gillis. Yeah, there was a whole like weird crew that seemed to just. They're like four guys who did porn.
Yeah,
and that was it.
Joey Silvera, who's a buddy of mine, and I love him because he shot all the trans porn. He's the best. He's a good friend.
Oh, he shoots the trans porn.
He did. I watched my first Tonight Show. I did it in 2004, and when it aired that night, I was at Joey Silvera's house, and I was in the basement. It was him, his girlfriend at the time, and Brandon Iron, who was another porn star who passed away. And there was like four of them upstairs watching, but I couldn't watch with other people. But yeah, I always had such an affection for porn people. Like, I hated when they were like mocked or treated like shit. It's like their job is harder than any other fucking acting gig. Anyone that's tried to keep an erection in front of people, it's very difficult. And guys like Nacho could fucking, his dick would stay hard at the opening of Saving Private Ryan.
Jamie Gillis, and who's there's one other guy I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think of the
old.
You
mentioned him.
The old. Well, there was Paul Thomas. There was Jamie Gillis. There was John Leslie, Joey Silvera,
John Leslie,
Randy West, and who was the guy? He's balding. Not Harry. He was in Taboo American Style. He did a lot of those. He was a very plain-looking guy.
They had civilians doing porn back then. I mean, porn back then was like, let's see.
I'll tell you his name when I see him.
I need John Leslie, like young John Leslie. But here's what I'm saying. When you go back and you look at like the 72 Dallas Cowboys defense, and Cliff Harris was their free safety. He was like balding, 180 pounds, skinny white guy. Like, he looked like a civilian. He didn't look like a professional. And so porn stars used to sort of be civilians.
That's right.
Like, they didn't look like what they are Now,
they had regular lives and they kind of got into this, and then most of them got out of it. Some of them stayed. Tom Byron, what a legend. Tom Byron, did some great stuff.
I know all these guys. I want to see John Leslie because there's one guy. It's always bothered me, but he looks in the TV show The Flying Nun.
I don't remember. I remember the show, but I don't remember it.
The Flying Nun was a kind of insane conceit.
Yeah.
She had her habit, but she put too much starch in it. And it made like a winged canard. And then the wind would kick up and she'd fly.
Yes.
Except for she didn't really need to fly. You know, nuns don't really need to fly.
No,
you could walk to the next village or whatever. But and she didn't fly like Superman. She hovered and slow. She flew as fast as you walk, essentially. Yeah. All right. Now, I'm telling you, find me young John Leslie.
That's him right there, top right.
And then find me from The Flying Nun, there was the bachelor. There was the rich bachelor who lived on the island. And she was always trying to get money from him, and they looked the same. But anyway, all right.
John Leslie, I met him. I hosted the Porn Awards twice, and I was very starstruck meeting John Leslie.
Sure.
And he kept telling me how much he loved Mark Maron. I was so fucking annoyed. I'm like, I love Mark, but I mean, I'm a comic. And he's like, Mark, you know Mark Maron? I'm like, yeah, I know him.
How is hosting the Porn Awards?
The stuff the porn people laugh at, regular people don't, and vice versa.
Oh, really?
I did it at the Venetian with Jenna Jameson in January of 2004, and there's 6,000 people. Mm-hmm. And then I did it with Jessica Drake in 2007. It was massive. And now it's kind of not what it used to be, because it's all online and cam and OnlyFans and shit. Mm-hmm. But it was... I was nervous, but I didn't go with typical porn jokes and imply they were all idiots, so they liked me. I did as well as you could expect it to do.
Carlos the Bachelor.
That was his name?
Yeah, it was Carlos, and I think he was the Bachelor, and he was an actor. He's just a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And he always reminded me of John Leslie.
He has John Leslie eyes and a John Leslie mouth. The middle of the face is definitely John Leslie-ish.
Carlos Ramirez. He's got to be dead.
Good call. Wow.
That's my gift.
Died in the 80s.
Carlos did?
He was 57, yeah.
Jesus Christ.